Center. Get all my papers out. Thank you. How's your mom doing?
She's doing all right.
I haven't seen her forever.
She's working part-time over at the library.
Yeah, I think Katie said that. She said that she saw her there. She liked it there?
Mm-hmm.
Good. How's Milkshake doing?
Oh, he's doing good.
Yeah, not only do I miss your mom, I miss the dog too. He would sometimes, when we were having rough days, like do visits to everybody at the office.
Good morning, Dion. How are you today?
Good, how are you guys?
Good, good.
Joe will be here in just a second.
Kind of that close to walking in winter. Right. Guys, before we start, with Dion, can we had one thing that we didn't make motions on, and that was the firework
Hold on.
that we needed to do, so we can do a resolution.
I think we need to do a resolution for the fireworks and to be consistent with, I think, what was the dollar amount that we've done in the past?
I believe it's $100 donation.
It's $100. I think it is too. Consistent with what we've done in the past, we've always, contributed to the fireworks for the 4th of July here in Hardin County. Do I hear a motion to contribute $100 to, what is the entity?
It would be the Freedom Celebration Committee.
I would be willing to up it to 200, cost of living.
200? Okay.
I'll make a motion for 200. Second.
Any other discussion? I don't think so.
All right, roll call. Tim?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Fred?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, Blair. Okay.
Look, we got a little more.
We'll wait for Jerry.
So I put that on there and motions. Yep.
Okay. Well, again, good morning, Dion.
morning.
How are you today?
Good, how are you guys?
I'm glad we're able to piggyback from that meeting at 9:30.
No problem.
So we'll go ahead and give the floor to you,
Okay.
and you can kind of update us on things going on since your last meeting here with us, with our Hardin County Health Board.
Our ending balances for the end of February for the general fund was $186,116.91.
186,
Yes, 186, 116 and 91 cents.
91, okay? And that is through the end of February?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We've got our expenses down. Right now, our big focus financially is looking for our DON. And preparing for the DAC meeting. I've been meeting regularly with Jim Watkins. He is the health commissioner from Williams County. that we're on contract, through April 1st with. And, we are working on a 5-year forecast. We've also been mapping out, I had done like a monthly projection. He's helping me, develop a little bit better of a template,
Okay.
for the monthly projections. And also, looking at like what costs we can still cut. And then projecting out like through the rehiring phase and like getting some plans in place, to hopefully present to the board this month.
Okay.
So we can hopefully have the board, approve some plans and have some good goals and forecasts set in place.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but my thinking was we initially signed up for Jim for what, a 2-month period of time?
Yes.
2-month period. And, he charges 50 per hour, I think.
Yes.
So far, in your interpretation, you probably had, what, 2 or 3 weeks
Yes.
that he's done things. What other things besides guidance with planning a 5-year project has he been able to come up with that will help us out?
He has looked through, and I need to, have a meeting with Mike Bacon. One of our funds that we have as a special fund, the CMH program, he said that it actually should be a general fund, and not treated as a special fund. And so he's like, he's suggested us moving it over.
Okay.
And he's kind of helped us out, like look at positions and what positions we could possibly combine and what positions should not be like a standalone.
So he is giving you and the board then in turn some good recommendations?
Yes, yes,
Things that make sense that we can start working on,
Yes.
correct?
yes.
Okay, okay.
And then, and something that will be coming up, that I wanted to let the commissioners know, is we have, we had 2 TB cases. One has been closed. One was, closed last year. There is a TB grant through OVH, which is funded from CDC funds. And I'm gonna read part of the email just to make sure I get it correct. To support active TB case management, OVH can provide funds to eligible local TB control units. Funds are intended to offset the time and experience associated with the prevention and control of TB through education, training, and case management of persons with TB disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. In order to be eligible, TB cases must complete an approved course of treatment and meet certain other criteria. Funds can be used to offset county expenses such as TB control staff salaries, travel, medical consultation, and education, but may not be used to purchase the medications to treat TB cases. Per Ohio Revised Code 339.72, the subrecipient must be the office of the Board of County Commissioners, and contracts for eligible cases are sent to the board. The funds are paid to the Board of County Commissioners. The Board of County Commissioners should communicate with their health commissioner and or TB control unit to ensure that the funds are dispersed appropriately. So it sounds like per the ORC, like all the communication, like as far as the contracts and stuff, will be sent directly to you guys, to the county commissioners, and then and payment will be sent to you, and then it will be up to you to like work with us for the payment from. And this is something new for me, so I'm still learning all the ins and outs of it. It sounds like OVH gets some of money from CDC for this grant, and then they look to see all the number of cases that they have, and they divide that money amongst all the qualified cases. And he said Gary, our contact with ODH, said typically agencies could see between $2,000 and $4,000, depending on the number of cases and the number,
$2,000
The
to
amount.
$4,000 over what period of time?
just one time.
Just a one-time?
For per qualified case.
Mhm.
So
Per-
right,
Per qualified
Yes.
case, and right now we only have.
one, yes. So, it's like paid the year after. So like we have one qualified case for 24, so that would be paid in 25. And then we're hoping to have, our second case closed this year, so then that would be paid out in 26. Right now, the phase we're at with it is, we had submitted everything that we needed to submit by January. And now they're going through, and like if there's any, questions that they have, they're asking us the questions. I believe they don't send out like the contracts or anything like that until springtime. And then payment, they said, is usually not till fall. So as I get more information,
Yeah, please.
I'll filter it
And
through.
do, yeah, put it to us. So I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that the first case that we have that is now closed
Yes,
would be, you can apply for the $2,000 to $4,000 from
Yes.
that, which would be paid later this year.
yes,
And that the second case, which is still ongoing,
yes,
we can apply for that in 26 and
Yes.
pay for it in 26.
yes,
Okay. And again, 2,000 to 4,000. Yeah, as you get more information, send it our way, let us know, and so we can do
mhm,
and act upon it accordingly.
yes. So that's the TV case, and then we have the DAC meeting, next week, next Wednesday. I did get, the board, did approve to ask for a 30% increase. I got with Mike to figure out like how much it would be, for each township. I am working on, a packet to send out to the townships that I'm trying to get sent out as soon as possible. I'm hoping to have it this week, just so they could have it in their hands before, be able to review, to have the numbers and to also, hopefully in our packet, we'll answer some of their questions. So we're trying to think of like all the questions that there might be.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dion, but, the amount that the townships have paid over the last 5 years, I believe, is $265,500, correct? And so if we add a 30% to that, that's basically about $79,650. Does that sound about right? And that's what we're looking at for the townships.
That's what they're asking for, yes.
It's in total,
Yeah.
That's also an increase for the city of Kent,
Yes.
so it's not just township.
Yeah, it's not just town, it would be
It's,
Townships
townships,
and
corporations, and
municipalities.
city of Kent,
in total,
yes.
79,650.
And then, the last thing I had was we are planning on moving our items. We have 2 dates set. We're hoping to get the move all in one day, from Hardin Hills to the new location,
Yes.
on Ida Street. And, the first day we're moving is this Friday. And then we have next Friday set aside, to finish up. And I saw Richard on my way in and talked about he said to just let him know. I did tell him that we were planning on Friday, but I didn't know what time. So he said just let him know the time and then somebody would be there to help open up for us.
And you're looking at doing it over 2 Fridays,
Yes,
this Friday and the next Friday?
yes.
Okay.
And we also have contacted Ohio Buckeyes, which are the ones with our car seats. We
Okay.
currently don't have a car seat tag, so I'm trying to see if we can, instead of moving them from one storage to another storage, to see if they would be able to transfer those to, other agencies that have their active programs. Number one, them, cause I know that sometimes they have expiration dates
Yeah.
on them. I don't want them expiring, and, number two, if somebody could use them, it's a lot better than us storing them, cause we have no idea when we're gonna be able to bring that program back.
If one expires,
Mhm.
what do you do with it?
That is through the Ohio Buckeyes program, we don't pay for those car seats. I would
Right.
assume they would get rid of them or dispose of them, but I'm not 100% sure. I know that,
I
if
would-
we've ever had an expire, we just call them and let them know and they handle it,
Okay. So they come and get them,
yeah,
probably.
So you are working with this company to see if there's a possibility of redistribution of
Yes.
those seats?
yes,
Yeah, I know you have a number of them too.
yes, yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot at Hardin Hills and we have 7 in, a storage area at our office, so.
Dion, do you have any, feel for how old the old seats may be?
I don't. I know that, when we were working the program, we get shipments regularly, but there was several times like we would, notify them and say, hey, we still have a ton, and I know that, Jesse was really good at like kind of keeping the oldest ones up front, and then when we got the newest ones, putting them in back.
Okay.
So the 12th is your township's
Yes,
city meeting,
yes.
where at, what time?
7 o'clock at the sheriff's office. At the, is it the Jacob Parrott Safety Center?
And again, that's March 12th.
Yes. That's all I have, unless you guys have questions.
Well, it's good to have these little updates to understand where we're at. It's nice to know that, knowing that in November, we received $150,000, knowing that your balance is, $186,000, so we were, very frugal with the money that came through. And I know that as we go forward, you'll probably be looking at that same way.
Right.
But, your plans then will go and show how, as we move forward, money's coming in
Yes,
and expenditures to help grow
yes,
the entity from where it's at now to possibly bigger and stronger.
yes. Yeah, and when we've been doing the projections, I've kind of laid it out where on our Excel sheet, like I have it like with our current staff. And then like have like a section to add, like if we would add a Dion or add a nurse or, or a clerk or any position.
Yeah.
And like kind of break it out so we can see like adding like these positions, like this is where we're gonna be. And then like with the 5-year, which trying to get like a 5-year, especially when you get to like 28, 29, it's a complete guess, cause we don't know what's gonna happen like with grants or, anything like that. But it still gives us a little bit of a picture of who, when we hire like with this, we're good for like these 2 years, but once you get this year, we're not. So it's able to like lay it out.
Well,
and get
what it
everywhere.
does, when you have that information and you present it, it gives everybody an understanding of how the health department, where it wants to be at, that it's trying to do this sort of activity to grow in this fashion, but projection is it needs this amount of revenue in order to do that. And so to be able to show that on spreadsheets or whatever is really good. And it's one of those things, you know, I'm sure that, it will be, additional costs and naturally to what it is right now. And you'll have to project that and then be able to talk as to what that represents.
And another thing that he's helped, another spreadsheet that we're working on is, he laid out like all our unfunded mandates and all our like programs and like, are they required, are they not required, if they're required, like the ORC that backs them. And then, right now I'm going through and trying to get like a cost per unit, like how much it cost us and like how much people we serve. Like, so last year we did, you know, X amount of vital stats, and then figuring out like with the salaries, and the state fees, like how much, that cost us. So we're trying to lay that out to, and hoping to present that to the board to kind of get a picture of like all our programs and like how much they cost us. Like with vital stats, we get fees back in, but like with our animal bites program, we don't receive any funding back from that. So it's gonna be kind of nice to break out those costs, especially with some of our unfunded mandates that are like thrown into the general item to like kind of see where we're at with those and get a bit better picture on that.
Keep in mind too, as far as the funding goes, you know, it's more than just the county and municipality, or the townships and the municipalities, but it's the grant funding too.
Yes.
And I would think that, based on your expenses that you've seen in the past, that the 265 that we've seen from townships and municipalities is what, about 50% of your total?
I think so.
The other 50% is grants, and so, hopefully Jim, from Northwest Ohio, is able to steer and to guide the entity into those particular grants, knowing what grants we can get, and maybe we can build monies through more grants and everything in the future. That would be great. So, because we know we need all the grants we can get,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be more difficult too. It's gonna be more difficult because I'm assuming, you know, since we now have a new administration, maybe those grants may not be the same as what they once were.
Right.
So we have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and right now we're keeping an eye on, because we do get some Medicaid funding, so we're keeping an eye on that too.
Yeah, we need to keep an eye on everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Joe, do you have anything?
No.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in,
Yeah,
Dion.
thank you.
We will see you then on, March 12th,
Yep.
7 o'clock over
Yep.
at State Center. And, we'll have all the documentation here to
Yes.
explain and everything.
Yep, and I'm hoping to send out a presentation this week, or at least like a packet of information.
You might, if you get a total of like the unfunded mandates,
Yes.
to have that list to present
Mhm.
as part of your presentation, so they understand, you know, what things you have to pay and don't have control over. Those things you can't really cut. So, just a thought.
Yes, thank you.
I think we're set.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Stan.
Dion.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
for the update.
Yep.
Thanks.
Gentlemen, I am going to go to Forest, and I'm gonna start pulling down the information on the library bulletin boards.
I'll get mine.
Guys, that's it for today.
Is that it then?
Yep.
That's it, guys. Thank you very much.
Was there anything we're gonna, aside from
Cheryl. We'll see you.